guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are doing a full face of Charlotte Tilbury best sellers. I am very excited about this video because it's been a minute since I've done a one brand look with all high-end products. You guys know I'm all about the drugstore and affordable stuff, but I wanted to test out Charlotte Tilbury because I've seen so many of her products going viral. A lot of people love them and they are officially cruelty-free. They made an announcement on their Instagram, I saw, I believe, a few months back. So I wanted to purchase everything and try it out for myself so I could see what all the hype is about. So I got everything directly from Charlotte Tilbury's website because I felt like the variety was better and there was more stuff in stock versus on Sephora's website. But yeah, I'm excited to put everything to the test. So I hope you guys enjoy. Grab a snack, get cozy, and let's get into it. Okay, so brows are done, lids are primed, and I'm gonna start with an eyeshadow palette. So I actually already tested out this eyeshadow palette yesterday because I tried to film this video yesterday and it was just one of those days. So scrapped that footage, we're starting fresh. So this is the Super Nudes Easy Eye Palette. So it is a 6-pan eyeshadow palette. This was very expensive, but you do get your neutrals in here. So this is really just like a basic palette that you could like kind of transition from day to night, and just kind of quick first impressions based on what I did use yesterday. You really don't need this eyeshadow palette, in my opinion. I mean, the colors were nice. They did what they had to do, but you can get colors like this from ColourPop, Beach Cosmetics. I mean, there's a ton of indie brands and just other more affordable brands in general that are amazing as far as eyeshadows where you don't need to spend a ton of money, but I'm gonna use this today. So let's start off with this color right here, and I'm gonna apply that as my transition color. I'm gonna do basically just something very sultry and smoky using all the browns in here. The colors are pigmented and you know they work, but eyeshadow is one of those things where I feel like you really don't need to spend a lot of money on them because there's just a ton of amazing brands out there with really great quality eyeshadow palettes. I'm just gonna build that color up, and this is a NYX blending brush, by the way. Then I'm gonna take this color right next to it, and I'm basically gonna just apply that on the lid and also working it up in the crease just a little bit, diffusing the two colors together. This is like a mid-tone warm brown. I will say though, also, I love how compact this palette is and how you have like your basics in here, because I know not everybody wants a big eyeshadow palette with like 50 shades because it can be a little overwhelming, and honestly, even for me. So it's nice to have like small palettes like this that you can kind of use for day looks and also like glam date night looks, etc. But yeah, these are definitely performing really nice, but I just feel like this is overpriced for what it is. Just gonna blend the edges out of this a little bit. And then with the same brush, I'm gonna go into this brown color right here. I'm gonna take that color and start kind of fluffing that shade on the lid just to deepen this up a little bit and make it even smokier. So you could really do this look with just any like matte brown eyeshadow. You just really need like 2 or 3 of like your favorite warm brown shades and you can create this look. I'm basically just layering them on top of each other until I get this to be like as dark and sultry as I want, but it's super simple to do. The formula of these though is really soft. As you can see, like the finish of them is just very velvety. They're not like totally matte. I feel like when you're blending them, they are very easy to blend. But if you guys have a favorite high-end eyeshadow formula, please let me know. I'm gonna add a 4th color. I'm gonna use a little bit of this black shade, and I'm just gonna drag this right on my lash line just to make this even smokier. And then as I blend out that black, I'm gonna add a little bit more of this brown shade right here. And just blend this out kind of upwards and just make this really smoky. Since this look is so simple, I wanna make it just very sultry and just a little bit darker. Okay, I'm gonna curl up my lashes, and then I have a new mascara to test out today. So I picked up the Pillow Talk Push Up Lashes Instant Volume Length and 24-Hour Lift Effect Volume Mascara. Woo! That is a big tongue twister. So this says it is smudge and humidity proof, and it's supposed to give you voluminous and super long lashes. And this one I got in the shade Super Black. So I have very tiny lashes. I've been applying my lash serum. I did forget for a few days, but I started doing it again recently. They're little, but you know, they're getting there. But the packaging on this is really pretty, and the wand is kind of flat, but it's also pretty large for a mascara wand, and it has a ton of little bristles. So let's test it out. Ooh, I see some volume and I'm seeing some length on my lashes. Okay, Charlotte Tilbury, this is like actually showing up. Okay, I really like this. Do you see how it's like separating all of my lashes? I also like the formula of this because as I'm like adding the product to my lashes, it doesn't seem to be clumpy, and it's not a wet formula. It's a little bit more on the dry side, but it's not like flaky dry. Okay, so far, very impressed, especially because I have very tiny lashes, so I can only imagine if you have like super long lashes. All right, let me go put on some lashes and I'll be right back. Also, while we're here, I'm gonna test out this eyeliner that I got. So I'm gonna use the nude side later on my waterline, but I'm gonna tightline my upper lash line with the dark brown. This is the Super Nudes Liner Duo. When I was looking online for a new eyeliner, I felt like this was the best value just because you get 2 in 1 basically. And I like the Duo because I feel like it's ideal for like everyday kind of makeup look. So those are the 2 shades right here. So you can see it's a super dark chocolate brown and then a nude liner. I'm gonna put some just on the top lash line a little bit. Okay, now we're gonna move into the skin. I'm gonna start with the Charlotte's Magic Cream. It's an instant turnaround moisturizer. I've actually tried this before I don't actually remember when. I wanna say it was maybe like a few years back, maybe like 2 years ago, but it's just like a creamy everyday moisturizer. And from what I remember, I do really like this, or I did really like it when I did test it out. And I need a lot of moisture, so I'm gonna put this on everywhere. I'm also gonna put some under my eyes because my under eyes tend to get pretty dry. I do like the formula of this. It's really creamy and lightweight, even though it is hydrating. It's not too greasy on the skin. And I think it is a good moisturizer under makeup, but this is expensive. Insane. At the end of the day, it is a moisturizer. So comparing this to like another high-end product, this is kind of like the Smashbox Primerizer. Like it's gonna give you that moisture and it's gonna look really nice under makeup and with a lot of different foundations because it's really just like something that is gonna hydrate and prep your skin. I do love the formula of this though because it doesn't weigh my skin down, but it gives me a lot of moisture. But I think it comes down to like, do you wanna spend $100 on a moisturizer? Okay, next for foundation, I have the Airbrush Flawless Foundation. It says it stays all day and night. I picked up the shade 5.5 Warm. Totally guessed my shade, so hopefully it matches. I've never tried this before and I've heard so many good things. Ugh, in love with the packaging. It's just so luxe. Comes with a pump, which I love. This is a full coverage foundation with the flawless matte long-lasting finish. So I did about 2 pumps. Okay, I'm gonna start with that. There's still some product on the back of my hand, but we're gonna start with this and then I'll build it up as needed. Okay, I'm gonna do one side with a sponge and then we'll do another side with the brush so we can see how it applies. I'm gonna use my e.l.f. Total Face Sponge. Ooh, this smells really nice. Has a really light, kind of like hand soap smell. CoverGirl used to have the foundation that smells just like this. I really like it. Ooh, definitely very nice coverage. Blends really easily, and this shade is like actually I think on point, which is surprising because I have not been doing so great with picking my foundation shade, especially online. Like wow, I'm actually impressed with myself. Liking the coverage. It feels really lightweight and blends really nicely with this sponge. Ooh. Okay, let's do the other side now with a brush. I'm gonna use my Haley's Beauty Brilliant Kabuki. I'm gonna add a little bit more. Okay, blends flawlessly, I think, with both a brush and a sponge. So this is the brush side, and this is the sponge side. I feel like the sponge side looks a little bit more dewy, whereas the brush side looks a little bit less dewy and just more natural. This foundation doesn't actually feel matte on my skin. Maybe it's because I prepped with that moisturizer. It feels really, really comfortable. It feels just like it has a natural finish, and I love how easily it blends, and it has really good coverage. It completely covered up what I needed it to. You know, I still have a little bit of my pimples peeking through, so I'm gonna add a little bit more. I'm gonna use a brush on this side because I kind of like it with a brush more. And I am using up every bit of product that I have on the back of my hand because this is expensive, so we are not wasting anything. But I will definitely have to keep using it, obviously with different primers and stuff, to see how it really performs, but so far, so good. Next up we have concealer. This is the Magic Away Liquid Concealer, and I picked up the shade also 5.5 medium. Oh, I didn't realize I got the same color, but this is what it looks like. I feel so fancy with this. This stuff is like so bougie for me. So this is what the packaging looks like, and you just kind of twist it up. So it comes with a little like sponge applicator like this, and then you twist it up and the product comes out of the sponge. Oh wow, this feels a little bit thick. So I think this color I could have probably went down a shade just to kind of highlight my under eyes a little bit more. It does feel a little bit thicker, but it blends into the skin really nicely, and I would say it has just a very natural medium coverage. The formula is a little bit thicker, but it's almost like a mousse, but it blends really easily. Wow, I have to say though, it looks really smooth on the skin. So would I got like one shade lighter, it would have been perfect, like the perfect highlighter color. We have a couple other products here. So this is the contour wand. I've seen so many people talking about this, so I picked up the shade Fair Medium. And again, this has the same kind of packaging. Oh, there it goes. That is so satisfying. To blend this out, I'm going to use my e.l.f. Complexion Duo brush. Wow, melts into the skin. See how easily that blended? I could probably use more. I wish there were more shades, I will say. Charlotte Tilbury, please. Let's add some more shades to this because the formula seems like it's really nice. Whoa, that's a lot. But some more colors would be helpful. This is gonna be the ultimate test. Can I blend this out? Let's see. Okay, actually I think this color is like good. Wow, I love this. The way that it looks on the skin. This is so smoothing. Like it looks like bronzy, smooth, healthy skin. What do we think? It's a little bit more on the cool tone side, but I actually really like the undertones of this, and the formula is very easy to blend and work with, as you can see. So I really like that. Wow. Next up, I picked up the Hollywood Flawless Filter for a Superstar Youth Glow. So this one I picked up in the shade 4 Medium. And this is basically supposed to be like a just really wet, intense, like kind of inner glow from within type of product. So it says here it's gonna illuminate for a dewy, flawless Superstar Youth Glow. Sounds amazing, so let's try it out. So it kind of looks like a foundation just in the packaging. Oh, okay, good. I like the applicator too. It's just like a big doe foot. So I'm just gonna apply this directly onto the skin right on the top. And I'm gonna blend this out with my sponge. I normally don't really love liquid highlighters. I just prefer a powder, but I saw a video of somebody using this and it looked incredible on their skin. Not probably something that I can see myself using, but I feel like this would be beautiful on a bride, or if you're into like a liquid kind of inner wet looking glow. Kind of just makes your skin look very like dewy. So maybe this could also be good mixed in with like another matte foundation, because it doesn't look like it has like shimmer in it or glitter. It's just like a very dewy kind of wet glow. For me, this is not a necessary product because I just don't reach for things like this that often. Like whenever I'm doing creams and liquids, you know, I stick to foundation, concealer, cream bronzer, cream blush, and that's pretty much it. I'll just follow up with like a powdered highlighter. This is a really pretty product. I think it just comes down to like if you would use this in your makeup routine. So she's pretty, but not necessary for me. I'm gonna go ahead and set everything, and I have the Magic Powder. This is an under eye and face powder, and I picked up the shade, I believe actually it might just be one color. Oh, okay, just kidding. I got the shade Fair Medium. So this is what it looks like. It's just a loose powder. Wow, it looks really good. It's like super smoothing. Okay, this smells like a crayon box from elementary school. Like, you know, did we all have one of those like crayon boxes and they'd be covered in like crayons and pencils? Wow, this smells just like my childhood. I'm not mad about the smell, by the way. It just smells just like that to me. So I'm really pressing the powder in with my sponge, and then I'll go in with a brush just to set the rest of my face. I like to do this usually on my T-zone and my under eyes because it just gives me such a smooth finish. This looks so good, but it's like so expensive, but it's so pretty on the skin. So with the rest of the powder, I'm gonna use this to set the outer perimeter of the face. Oh, that looks a little bit gray now that I set it. I don't know what I was expecting with this powder, but it completely exceeded my expectations. This looks really, really good. So now I'm gonna do some powder bronzer and blush and highlight, actually. And this bronzer looks incredible. So this is the airbrushed bronzer, and I got the shade medium. It's a huge pan size. This is a little bit more warm than the Magic contour wand that I used, which I honestly feel like I prefer. It's pretty and it's nice and smooth too. I love this bronzer. This is really nice. I will say though, like the products, I feel like the complexion especially, there's like something in this formula that looks so freaking smooth on the skin. Like I don't even know what it is, but it looks really good. So love the formula of this as well. Everything is just like really easy to work with and blend. So I love that. Just wish there were more shades. That's like, again, my biggest complaint when it comes to Charlotte Tilbury. Okay, next up, I'm really excited about this product. This is the Cheek to Chic Swish and Pop Blusher, and this one is in Ecstasy. It's like a really pretty kind of just everyday peach shade. Looks stunning. Pretty. Just gives like a light sheen and a light wash of color. So when you swirl your brush in here, the combination of both gives you like this really light peachy pink with a light sheen. It almost looks like you have like a very natural highlighter on your cheeks when you apply this. I like this. This is really nice. I like the formula too. It's like super smooth. Looks like it's gonna be really light, but then when you build it up, you definitely get some more color payoff. I don't know how I could forget this, but I have to shout out the very famous Airbrush Flawless Finish Skin Perfecting Powder. So I have this one in the shade 2 medium. I also have the shade Fairlight, and I really like this powder to set like my T-zone and kind of just smooth everything out. I don't like this for the under eyes, but it's a good like all around face powder. But I have seen on TikTok people comparing the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop powder to this, and this is one of my current favorites. I've been loving this powder since it first launched. I think it was like in August. It's been like a go-to. I'm in the shade Light Medium, and I have to say I think this is a really good dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury powder. I can confirm I've used both. I like the one from Charlotte Tilbury, but you know, it's very expensive, and I feel like this gives you that really nice, smooth, seamless finish without being too powdery, and this is not drying on my skin. At least I have combo skin, so I really, really like this. But that loose powder from Charlotte Tilbury was also like incredible, and it looks so smooth. And the last product that I have in here is the Nudegasm Face Palette. This is a Bronze Sculpt and Glow palette. So looking at these shades, I feel like these would be good like contour colors. Maybe if you have super fair skin though, just because you can see they are very light. These are the bronzer colors right here. So they are very cool tone. Let me use a little bit of this color right here, actually. I'm gonna try this out. This is what it looks like on the brush. And then up top we have this highlighter, which is what I'm gonna use. And then this one here also looks like a really pretty kind of bronzy, peachy highlighter, or you could also use it as like a blush topper as well. Formula on these feels really nice, and it doesn't feel powdery. It's just very like velvety. I feel like that's the best way to describe the formula of her stuff. It's like velvet, satin, smooth. The concealer is creasing on me, by the way. All my concealers do crease, but this one is creasing a little extra. So I'm just gonna kind of go over it with my sponge. Now let's try out this highlighter. Wow, that's pretty. Again, I really love the formula of this, like a lot. Gives your skin that like wet glow. It's not like a shimmery, glittery highlighter. It's just very wet. I'm gonna add some of this color right here. This is what it looks like. So yeah, it's like a peachy, corally kind of glow. I, again, really love the formula, especially of this highlighter. I would have actually loved and maybe preferred, this is just me being picky, but if this was like an all-around highlighter palette with different shades of highlighter versus having like the contour and then this color, because again, I just feel like these aren't gonna work for a lot of different skin tones, and neither is the blush, but highlighters can work more universally for different skin tones. But then again, I'm not a makeup artist, I don't know, but that's just kind of my first impressions and what I think about the palette. Of course, for lip liner, I'm gonna go in with the Lip Cheat Iconic Nude Lip Liner. I actually have tested these out before and I really like the formula of these, but lip liners are one of those things that I usually don't typically ever splurge on because I have a lot of favorite affordable lip liners. Like, you can find a bunch of different ones with a bunch of different shades, but I'm gonna test this out again because it's been a while and I know everybody loves this color, so let's try it out. Okay, this is nice. Really great formula. If I could compare this to another lip liner that I really like, I would say LA Girl or NYX. Now, for lipsticks, I picked up two that were on their bestsellers category. So we have the Super Nudes Luminous Modern Matte Long Lasting Lipstick, and I got the shade Cover Star. It is just a stunning, like, brown peachy nude. Like, of course, duh, I had to get a color like this. Beautiful. So I'm gearing towards this color, but I also did get the Pillow Talk Matte Revolution Long Lasting Lipsticks. It's funny, all the names of everything is so long and extra. I love that. And this one is in Pillow Talk. This, I believe, is like the iconic shade that everybody loves. It's like a really pretty kind of mauvey pink rose. Now, you guys have seen the very viral Milani lipsticks going around, and I feel like those are definitely dupes as far as like colors and even like formula of these. I mean, they feel really nice, but Milani, their new lipsticks, wow, they killed it. So I'm gonna try the Pillow Talk color first because I feel like this is like the most popular color ever. So here we have Pillow Talk. It's like a very wearable pink. I think it's really pretty, especially with the lip liner. I do like it, but with this look, I'm feeling the other shade. And really quick, let me just compare these two colors here that I have from Milani. So we have the shade Pleasure, and I feel like Pleasure maybe could be a dupe for Pillow Talk. Let's see. Actually, no. It's a little bit lighter, but Milani lipsticks, I know they're sold out everywhere, but if you can get your hands on these whenever they are back in stock, these are it. And the other shade that I'm loving from Milani is Tease, which maybe could be a dupe for this color actually. So let's swatch this one up top. Okay, Tease is a little bit darker, but it has that very similar kind of peachy brown undertone. I'm gonna wipe off this lipstick and I'm gonna put on the other nude. And again, this one is in the shade Cover Star. But don't get me wrong, Pillow Talk is beautiful, and I feel like you could even mix a lighter nude into it if you want to lighten it up. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit more translucent powder with a small brush. This one is the e.l.f. Flawless Concealer Brush, just to really concentrate the powder under these little tiny fine lines that I have that are super annoying. So now to finish up the eyes, I'm just gonna drag these two shades right here on the lower lash line. Then I'm gonna use the Duo eyeliner that I got, and I'm gonna take the nude shade. I'm also gonna take this highlighter color from the Face palette, and I'm gonna apply that in the inner corners. Lastly, for the eyes, I'm gonna do some mascara. Very curious to see how this looks on the lower lashes because I loved how it looked on the top. I really love this wand. And you guys know I can never not set my face, so I'm gonna go in with the Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. And this is like, I feel like what inspired this entire video. I've been testing this out for the past couple weeks, and I have to say this is a very intense setting spray. Like, your makeup is not going anywhere. I do feel like this mattifies my skin. So whenever I use this, I like to make sure that my skin is nice and dewy beforehand. I'll usually use like a dewy spray and then top my face off with this just to really lock everything into place. But I think especially if you have oily skin, you would love this spray because it will keep everything in place and just like seal the deal, mattify everything. It's intense, but I'm gonna go ahead and spray this. I also like the spritzer on it as well. My skin is looking pretty dewy today already though, so I'm gonna just try it out this time just on its own. All right, you guys, so we are officially all done with this full face of Charlotte Tilbury, and I have some thoughts, so let's do some quick speed reviews. These also might be a little bit of some popular or unpopular opinions, but again, these are just my opinions. I'm not a makeup artist, and I feel like Charlotte Tilbury is a brand that a lot of makeup artists use, so take what I say with a grain of salt. These are just my opinions based on what I used today. First, we have the Magic Cream. Although this is a very nice moisturizer, this is $100, and I feel like you can get such a similar effect with a million other moisturizers and a ton of other primers, specifically the Smashbox Primerizer. That one is one of my favorite high-end products ever. It lasts forever and it works with like every single foundation. This is a nice product, but for me, it's not worth the $100 price point that it is. Next up, we have the Hollywood Flawless Filter Superstar Youth Glow. This is beautiful. It's gonna give you that wet, dewy, fresh skin. But I feel like products like this, they're a little bit confusing to me because when you apply them, then it kind of just like fades away after you put on powder or just like throughout the day in general. These don't really last. So, I mean, this is nice, but it's not gonna be like a must-have or holy grail product for me personally. This eyeshadow palette was nice. I love the concept of it, and I love how basic the eyeshadow shades are because it's ideal for like everyday makeup. But you could definitely get tones like this from ColourPop, BH Cosmetics. I mean, the list goes on. There's a ton of other more affordable brands where you can find very similar shades to this that are pigmented and that you can create like just neutral looks with. So nice palette, also just not worth the splurge for me. This eyeliner duo, I love the concept of it. I like how you get a nude and a brown. Like these are staples for every day, but I feel like these are more pigmented swatched versus actually on the waterline. You do have to go over your waterline quite a few times to get some color payoff. So I love the concept. I just wish the formula was a little bit better for the price point. Okay, this is definitely going to be an unpopular opinion, but hear me out. I think the lip products are overrated. They're really nice, and I love these colors, especially this lipstick. It is chef's kiss. You could definitely get dupes and very similar colors with so many other brands, drugstore, high-end. So I see why people love the lip products so much, but then again, I'm kind of like, I mean, it's nice, but it's nothing that I haven't seen or used before. Especially now that these Milani lipsticks exist. I mean, these Charlotte Tilbury lip products I feel like are so easily dupeable, especially the lip liners as well. This concealer, I love the formula of it. It did settle into my fine lines a little bit. I was able to fix that with a little bit of extra translucent powder, but now that I look at it, I can see why so many people don't like the packaging because it's really not ideal. I mean, it's messy and it's gonna get all gross and stuff whenever you do put the cap back on. So love the formula of this. Also, let me just say, the formula of Charlotte Tilbury is very smooth and super airbrushed and flawless on the skin. And this concealer is really nice. I love how natural and skin-like it was, but I also don't really see this replacing any of my current favorite concealers that I love that I think have better packaging than this. So I'm gonna pass. This contour wand, the formula, it just melts into the skin and it is such an easy product to work with, and it gives you like the most perfect wash of color, but I wish there were more shades. The Nudegasm face palette. So, okay, this is nice, but I can definitely get this kind of effect on the cheeks with so many other products. And I mean, it's a really nice palette, don't get me wrong, especially this highlighter color. This is probably my favorite shade in the palette. It is stunning, very wet, very dewy, but I'm gonna pass on this because I don't really feel like it's a must-have. There's a million and one highlighters that you can get that will give you this kind of look. And everything else, I have to say, I think is worth the splurge. If you want to splurge, if you want to add these products to your collection and be a little bougie, these are it. So first we have the Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. This is it. This is definitely a spray that I've been using recently on like special occasions because it's so expensive and it's intense. Like I said, it does, I feel like, mattify the skin. If you have oily skin, I think you would love this. It definitely locks everything into place. It's not something that I like for every single day just because I feel like it's such an intense setting spray, but it is really good. I do think this is worth the splurge. Love the spritzer, love the way it smells. It gets the job done. So I have no complaints about that. Also love this foundation. This is so nice. The coverage, how it blends, like everything about it is super smooth. I think the coverage is like really good medium coverage, definitely buildable, but it still looks very skin-like and it feels comfortable on the skin as well. So I love this, especially with a brush. I think it looks super flawless. This bronzer is also amazing. I love the little bit of warmth that it has because it's not too orangey or muddy. It's very smooth on the skin, builds up really nicely, and I think it's a good like everyday bronzer. And this Cheek to Chic blush is also a really pretty, like just kind of everyday natural flush blush. If you're into just like a very effortless wash of color on your cheeks, you will love this. I also love the scent center shade in here, how it's a little bit glowy, because then when you swirl your brush in and you apply it on your cheeks, you get like this really effortless wash of color, but it's still like really glowy and pretty and fresh. Okay, this magic powder, this is flawless. And it almost doesn't look like powder when you set it. It just looks like another layer of skin. I would say if you're looking for a new powder, get this versus the pressed powder, where I feel like the pressed powder is so easy to dupe. I really love this. If you guys have a dupe, let me know so I can test it out, but this is it. I love it. And last but not least, surprisingly, I really love this mascara. If you're into mascara, you don't wear a lot of fall season, you want something that's lengthening, voluminous, get this. The formula is great because it's not too dry, it's not too wet. I love the wand, love the tiny bristles. I feel like it's so easy to just really coat every single lash. And I'm not one to love mascaras that much. Like, it's probably one of my least favorite categories in makeup, honestly, because I wear false lashes all the time, but this is actually really, really good. So there we have it, full face of Charlotte Tilbury bestsellers. Let me know what you guys think. If you have tried any of these products, or if you have any other favorites that I didn't use in today's video, let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe before you leave. And one more thing, let me know what other one brand tutorial you guys want to see from me next. And until next time, I'll see you very soon in my next video. Bye.